Hello everyone, this is me Sunipan. Once again, I have come up with 10 questions from the class 11 from chapter Structural Organization in Animals. So, today we will talk about the animal tissues. So, before proceeding towards the quiz, let me announce you something. As you know, I didn't come for 2 days, and I must tell you that, and I'm very sorry to tell you that due to some unavoidable circumstances, I couldn't come, and that is the reason I could not upload quiz every day. So I'll definitely post quiz, but not a daily basis. So I thought let's make it a little slow. Not slow. I'll upload every 2 days. It's not possible for me to right now. Right now, it's not possible for me to upload every day. So I'll upload every 2 days. I hope you won't mind that, and I'll complete this series very nicely. You'll just uh, keep watching that, okay? And there are a lot of problems that are going on. That is the reason I can't upload, and I'm extremely sorry for that because I promised uh, to make videos every day on a daily basis, but I'm unable to do it. I'm sorry, extremely sorry for that, but because of that it won't stop. It will be continued, and I'll upload everything what I promised, that a quiz session that will be there and with the full explanation. So without wasting any time, let's proceed to our quiz session. Okay, so our first question is, read the following statements A to E. A. Inner surface of bronchioles and fallopian tube possess ciliated epithelium. B. Lining of stomach is simple cuboidal epithelium. C. PCT is lined by epithelium with microvilli. D. Ducts of gland possess simple cuboidal lining. E. Squamous epithelium lining of alveoli helps in gaseous exchange. How many of the above statements are true? Okay, so simple things. Pause the video, give your answer on the comment box, and then come again to watch your answer and the explanation. Okay, now I'm giving the answer. Let's talk. Inner surface of the bronchioles and the fallopian tubes possess ciliated epithelium. Is that correct? Yes. Everything that is hollow, that have a tendency to flow any particles towards the one direction, that will have ciliated epithelium. Okay, so this is correct. So lining of stomach is simple cuboidal epithelium. Is that correct? No, actually lining of stomach have simple columnar epithelium. Okay, so this is not cuboidal, so this is wrong. PCT is lined by epithelium with microvilli. Definitely, PCT means proximal convoluted tubule in nephron. The ducts absolutely have a microvilli, and microvilli helps in the absorption. Okay, so this is absolutely correct. Ducts of glands possess simple cuboidal lining. Definitely, again, if you see the ducts of nephrons, they all have the cuboidal lining. Okay, so this is also correct. Squamous epithelium lining of alveoli helps in gaseous exchange. You will find the squamous epithelium any endothelial ducts, and also in alveoli you will find all this squamous epithelium that actually helps in gaseous diffusion, means gaseous exchange or diffusion, you can say. Okay, so how many of the above statements are true? So option 3, check it here, 1 2 3 4. So four statements are true. Okay, so this is our answer of the first question, and let's proceed towards our next question. Salivary glands are multicellular and exocrine in nature, as you know that, while generally hormone secreting glands are dash and dash in nature. So they are asking you that hormone secreting glands are which type. So options are multicellular endocrine, unicellular apocrine, multicellular exocrine, unicellular merocrine. Okay, let's give you answer. Okay, this is pretty easy. Those which are mostly in hormone secreting glands are multicellular, and most of the hormones secretes in our bloodstream without any ducts, so that's why they are endocrine. Those glands which don't have any ducts, okay, they are called endocrine, and those which have the ducts, they are called exocrine. Okay, so you know that salivary glands and also the other glands like you know what is there, milk glands and all sweat glands, they all have ducts. Okay, so that is the reason they are exocrine. Okay, so the answer will be multicellular endocrine. And you know what is apocrine and merocrine? Apocrine you will find in the groin region. After the puberty, this kind of gland produces. Okay, so let's proceed towards our next question. Sorry everyone, I've been sneezing for a very long time. I'm not really well, and that is also a reason for my absence for past 2 days. Okay, so our next question is, which of the following is a group of exocrine glands? Now see, option 1 goblet cells, salivary glands, thyroid. Option 2 Brunner's gland, parathyroid, gastric gland. Option 3 gastric gland, goblet cell, pituitary. Option 4 crypts of Levaquin, gastric gland and mammary gland. Okay, I hope you have seen this. Let's proceed. Okay, so let me give you the answer. First of all, exocrine gland, see thyroid in option 1, thyroid is here, so that can't be exocrine gland, that is a endocrine gland. Okay, see parathyroid is also there, so this is also a endocrine gland. And see pituitary is over here, this is also an endocrine gland. Okay, so only the option 4 that doesn't contain any endocrine gland. Okay, so crypts of Levaquin, definitely this is an exocrine gland because ducts over there. Gastric gland, ducts over there, and mammary gland, they also have ducts. Okay, so option 4 is the correct option. Option 4 is the correct option for the question 3. Okay, let's proceed towards our next question. Hold on, let me move a little bit. Let me adjust it. Okay, now select the incorrectly matched option. Option 1 tight junction is like prevents leakage through tissue layer. Gap junction allow faster cell to cell connectivity. Adhering junction for rapid ion transfer. Adhering junction cements neighboring cells. Okay, now you tell me what is the correct answer. It's a very easy one, very easy, and it's totally picked up from NCERT, totally. Okay, so tight junction prevents leakage through tissue layer, absolutely correct. Gap junction allow faster cell to cell connectivity, definitely. Gap junction helps in that. Adhering junction for rapid ion transfer, this is wrong. And adhering junction cements neighboring cells together. I hope you know that. Okay, so adhering junction, here the option 3 is the correct answer. Okay, because adhering junction never do this rapid transfer and all. They just do what they do. Neighboring cell are connected by them. They get attached with them. Okay, so that's why they are saying that cements neighboring cell. Okay, fine. Let's proceed towards our next question. DAS is a major plasma protein which help in osmotic pressure of blood. Okay, so the option 1 is globulin, option 2 is fibrinogen, option 3 is prothrombin, option 4 is albumin. Okay, give your answer, guys. Okay, let me tell you that it is the albumin that is the major plasma protein that help in osmotic pressure of the blood. I hope it is clear. Any doubts, you can ask me on the comment box. So let's proceed towards our next question. Okay, so our next question is, choose the correct statement with respect to fluid connective tissue. Okay, and the option 1, 45% of the blood is formed elements, nucleated RBC, WBC and platelets. 2, albumin is plasma, help in osmotic balance. Option 3, Lymph is absolutely identical to the blood plasma. 4. The fibrinogen proteins in blood plasma help in defense mechanism. Now give your correct answer, students. Hurry up. Okay, let me give you. 45% of the blood is formed element. Correct? Because 55% is plasma. Now it says the nucleated RBC. RBC is never nucleated. It is void without of nucleus. Because if it would have nucleus, then it wouldn't be able to carry oxygen. It wouldn't have so much of free space. Okay, that's why they are never nucleated. Okay, so second option, albumin is plasma help in osmotic balance. Okay, albumin is a plasma help in osmotic balance. As I said in the previous question, that osmotic in order to maintain the osmotic balance, albumin is a very crucial protein. Is a very crucial substance that help in that is in our plasma, that help in osmotic balance. So this is the correct option. Let's talk about last two options. Lymph is absolutely identical to the blood plasma. No, lymph is not absolute identical to the blood plasma, because lymph has no RBC. Okay, that's why they are not identical to the blood plasma. And see, the fibrinogen proteins in the blood plasma help in defense mechanism. Definitely not. Globulins are the one that help in defense mechanism. In fibrinogen, actually what they helps in clotting. Okay, let's proceed to our next question. Okay, match the following columns and choose the correct option. Column 1, tissue. Column 2, location. A, dense regular. B, loose connective tissue. C, dense irregular tissue. In column 2, skin, ligament, beneath skin and tendon. Okay, so let's give your answer. Now I'm telling you the answer. So first of all, let's talk about something. So connective tissues are classified into 3 types. They are actually loose connective tissue, then dense connective tissue, then specialized connective tissue. And in the loose connective tissue, there are 2 types of tissue you will find. One is areolar tissue, another is adipose tissue. And dense connective tissue are divided into 2 types. One is dense regular, one is dense irregular. And also you know that specialized connective tissue means blood, bone, cartilage. Okay, so these are the classification for the connective tissues. Okay, so let's talk. First, dense regular. Dense regular, whenever they will say dense regular, that means it will denote to ligament as well as tendon. Okay, so loose connective tissue. Loose connective tissue, you will talk about these are talking about areolar tissue and adipose tissue. They are actually present beneath. Beneath the skin. Okay, so loose connective tissue means beneath the skin. And dense irregular, that is the only one thing left, that is dense irregular means skin. So let's check the answers. A14, A14, 2424 in option in both the options. In A, 2 and 4 is there, so I have to check the B. B is 3, so option 3 is the correct option. Okay, so let's go towards our next question. Okay, now select the incorrect. Our next question is, select the incorrect statement from following. Option 1, plasma with clotting factors, it's called serums. And RBC, option 2, RBC show apoptosis at the end of 120 days, after which they are destroyed in spleen. Option 3, calcium are essential in blood coagulation. Option 4, thrombokinase is required for activation of prothrombin. So guys, students, give your answer and then I'll discuss. Okay, you have paused the video, given your answer. Let's talk. So plasma with clotting factors is called serum. Definitely without clotting factors, there will be serum. Like if you centrifuge the blood, then the clotting factors will be you'll find that in the sedimentation, those are the clotting factors, and above that there is a yellowish color substance, and that is called serum. If you are in a lab, if you are ever seen the centrifugation of the blood, then you can notice that. Though plasma with the clotting factor, it's called the serum. Okay, RBC show apoptosis at the end of 120 days, which after they are destroyed in the spleen. Spleen, as you know, this is called the graveyard of the RBC, and apoptosis, that means they get destroyed. Oh, okay, after 120 days. And you can ask me one question, that why RBC only live 120 days, not more than 120 days. This is a very legitimate question. I must tell you that RBC contains a protein, a substance that has a life of 120 days. Okay, after that it finishes and RBC also dies. Okay, when you will be in MBBS or BHMS, you will study all these things. These are under the physiology. Okay, let's next question. Calcium are essential in blood coagulation. Okay, yes. And thrombokinase is required for the activation of prothrombin. Okay, understood? Understood? Let me give you the correct answer. Okay, so the correct answer is option 1. It says incorrect. Okay, so plasma here it talking about width. Actually plasma without the clotting factors is serum. Remember that. So it says width. So never get confused. That's why I was looking for where is without. So this is width. So this said that is the incorrect, which is the incorrect statement. So option 1 is the incorrect statement. Let's proceed towards our next question. That is question number 9. What it says, pick the incorrect pair. Option 1, tendon, joint, skeletal muscle to bones. Option 2, cartilage, solid, pliable matrix. Option 3, bone, non-pliable, fibrilless matrix. Option 4, areolar tissue, support framework for the epithelium. So first of all, tendon, joint, skeletal muscle to bones, and ligament, bone to bone. Okay. Now cartilage is a solid, pliable matrix. Absolutely correct. Bone is a non-pliable, fibrilless matrix. This is wrong. Bone got fibers. So this is wrong. Fibrilless is wrong. So areolar tissue, support framework for the epithelium. Absolutely correct. So incorrect pair is option 3. So option 3 is the correct option for the question 9. Okay, let's proceed towards our next question and the last question. So this is our last question. In which of the following are tissues, their location and functions are correctly matched? Let's talk about that tissue, location, function. Option 1, cuboidal epithelium, location endothelium of blood vessel, function diffusion. Option 2, brass border columnar epithelium, PCT of nephron, location, function absorption. Compound epithelium, location, moist surface of buccal cavity, protection, function protection from chemical stress. Squamous epithelium, alveoli, function protection from mechanical stress. Okay, let's talk. So cuboidal epithelium. Okay, I hope you have given the answer. Let me discuss this. Okay, cuboidal epithelium, location endothelium of blood vessels, and function is diffusion. Function is correct, but the location is not correct. So cuboidal epithelium, generally you will find that in ducts of glands or tubular parts of the nephron, and their actual function is secretion and as well as absorption, not diffusion. Okay, diffusion is the function of actually squamous epithelium. Okay, I was wrong. I said wrong in the beginning. Sorry for that. Option 2, brass border columnar epithelium, PCT of nephron, and function is absorption. Okay, so brass border columnar epithelium. Okay, so brass border columnar epithelium, their function is okay. Their function is absorption and secretion, but you won't find that is PCT of nephron. You will find that in intestine and stomach. Okay, and option 3 is compound epithelium, moist surface of buccal cavity and protection from chemical stress. This is absolutely correct. Compound epithelium, you will find the moist surface of the buccal cavity. Okay, and they protect from the skin. They help us for the protection from the chemical stress. And in compound epithelium, you will also find in some other places like pharynx, inner line of ducts of salivary glands. You will find over there as well. So next thing is squamous epithelium. You will find that alveoli, but their function is not actually the protection from the chemical stress. Their function is the diffusion. Okay. So what is our correct option? Our correct option is option 3. Okay. So here we end our quiz of animal tissues. Okay, so we'll see you after 2 days with again 10 questions with the full explanation. By the time, stay home, study hard, and keep working. Okay, bye. Thank you.